All right, all right. Welcome back to the Green Logbook. I am joined today by Paul Ken Chopper Hopper. I love that. Paul Ken Chopper Hopper. Awesome, man. And you're over in Virginia, aren't you?
Well, no, I actually live just outside Nashville now.
Okay, okay. Oh,
Long
that's right.
story
Yeah, we
made
talked about that.
short, yep, I drugged the wife. My last set of orders was at the Pentagon, where I worked in the J3, and
Mhm.
the wife lived just outside Fort Campbell. And I said, honey, I promise we're only going to be there no more than 5 years. I promise.
Right.
13 years later,
That's how it
we came
happens, huh?
back to Tennessee. Yeah, we came back. She, all of her family side lives here. And so we came back here. It made it easy to commute. We have one set of granddaughters that lives a mile away.
Right on.
Yeah, another set that lives 3 hours away, and then another three that live about 6 hours south. So
Everybody's pretty close then.
Yeah, yeah.
Somewhat close. Awesome. So you are I was just looking at your bio. You're a retired colonel, U.S. Marine Corps, and an aviator. Is that right?
That's it.
All right.
Naval aviator.
Naval aviator. 30 years, right?
Yes, sir.
Man, so that's special because you don't really see folks go past their 20 or even into like past their 30s and all. So, or even into the 30s. So that's great. That's great. And you are currently, as it says right under you and on your subtitle there, marketing director of the Tun Legacy Foundation. So
I am.
I got about the Tun Legacy Foundation.
Oh, Tun Legacy Foundation is the brainchild of Pat Daly, who it's probably 9 years ago now. He was at a bar in Old Town Philadelphia called Cookies. And Cookies was like any other bar in Old Town. Nothing special about it, except for the fact that this was the place on November 10th. Any Marine, and it's, you can't even say the local area, that's where all Marines met on the 10th. And he said it was cold, it was wet, it was dark. Didn't matter. He said it had to have been 3,500 Marines out there.
Wow.
Drinking a toast to the Corps. And, the more beer they drank, the bigger their stories got, and the bigger the hero the individual was that told the stories. And he goes, I wonder how many Marines would show up if Tun Tavern was around. And that started him on his quest. He then began research, and I know Pat is going to be on your show, so I'm not going to steal too much of his thunder. But Pat started his quest, started his research, and that's where he discovered in writing the other 5 organizations that are tied in with the Tun Legacy Foundation. He can trace their, I will steal a couple of things from him. One, discovered that it was Masonic Lodge number 3. It was a Grand Lodge there in Pennsylvania. For a while. Benjamin Franklin, as a matter of fact, was Grand Master number 3 there at that lodge. And you're going to have Rob Brink come on the show. And Rob's going to be able to tell you all kinds of extremely interesting facts and the tie-in between the Freemasons, not only the Marines, but also Freemasons and the military. They're a huge supporter. So he started approaching these different organizations, and once he showed them in writing documentation that they can trace their heritage, all of them came on board. So now we have 6 organizations with a heritage, a lineage to the Tun.
Wow. So this Tun that is getting built now, right? It's currently in the process, right? There's fundraising going on with it, but there's a location already identified. Is that where originally the Tun Tavern actually stood?
We tried to get the original location. And I know a lot of your listeners have probably been to Philly and seen the historical marker that's there. That historical marker, if you don't know this, has its own Facebook page.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It is, according to the Park Service there, it is the second most asked question there in Philadelphia. And it's only behind where's the closest restroom. Then it's where's Tun Tavern. And they point to the historical marker. And the actual location of Tun Tavern is under Interstate 95 right now. So it was a little over a 2-year process of once Pat got Rob Brink, who's a Freemason, on board, they started a quest, is the best way to put it. And for 2 years, they found a parking lot on, I think, 2nd and Chestnut. And it is approximately 200 meters. If you're standing in front of the marker at 10 o'clock, 200 meters is where the new tun's going to be built. So 200 meters away.
That's as close as, if you can get it as close as possible, that's probably it right there. And I love that. And you can see the sign from there, I assume.
Oh yes. There's a big, huge sign that says coming soon, the Tun, and it gives the architectural rendering of what the place is going to look like once it gets built.
I saw that. You know what? And let me actually pull that up on here, the Tun, and then so I can show it on the screen.
Yeah, and this will help because a lot of people think we're just building the bar. Okay, this is much more than the bar, as you can see there.
Yeah, see it back here.
Yep.
All this back here.
Yep. All that back there. Actually, before it was called the Tun Tavern, if you click on that arrow to the there you go. You can show that. Before it was called Tun Tavern, it was actually called Peg Mullen's Beefsteak Club.
Mullen's Beefsteak Club. I didn't know that.
Yes, because beefsteak clubs were all the rage in England. And you have to remember, the Tun was built, or the building was built in 1683. So everyone was a good, loyal, Englishman. We were loyal colonists. So we wanted to have our own beefsteak clubs. So it was actually a beefsteak club before it got the name Tun Tavern. So, and we did that. It was a conscious decision. If you could hold it right there.
Yeah.
So the bottom floor there is going to be the actual Tun Tavern, what people would think the bar area. But when we just did the original drawing there, when we did the business plan, it didn't make sense. You couldn't make enough money because by fire code, you can only have about 80 people in there at any one time. And that wasn't going to make enough money. So we went back to the architects and said, all right, let's add on this restaurant. So that's what you see behind is
all this back here.
Yes, is the restaurant piece. So that plus the Tun now it's a solid business plan for us to get out there.
And then what's I see the second floor here and even up top. So what's on the second floor here?
So the second floor in the main part of the building there is 2 conference rooms. This is where those 2 conference rooms, the naming rights have already been purchased. We're going to have that larger one, the Freemasons have already purchased. And then that second smaller one is a actual descendant of John Adams has purchased the naming rights for that second conference room. The third deck there is going to be office spaces. And that second dormer from the right, if you're ready for this, is actually going to be a Marine Corps Recruiting Command substation. We are giving the Marine Corps free space.
That is probably the best recruiting substation in the U.S.
Can you imagine the gunny that gets that position?
I can't imagine it would be too hard to recruit from there, but I don't want to
recruit.
Yeah, I don't.
List. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow.
It's going to be incredible. Then the office spaces and the rest of the rooms there, but then behind the actual Tun itself, the first floor is going to be a museum, and it's a waiting area. The second floor is going to be where we'll have dining. And there's a chef's kitchen. The renderings, when people go to it, can see that. And then obviously the space behind that, counting outdoor seating, you're talking between 350 and 400 people could be in there at any one time.
That's pretty incredible. No, not just a bar. And it used to be just a bar, right? I mean, it was a beefsteak club, right? So maybe a small kitchen.
Well, yeah.
Now it's being expanded completely to the back.
It was known for its food. Okay. Actually, a little known history tidbit is that the day that George Washington was named the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army, the members of Congress took George Washington to the Tun for dinner. That's where they took him.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is. So, but right off the bat, I want to stress to the listeners that this is going to be more than just a bar in a restaurant. Like on the second deck there that you were showing, the two conference rooms, we've already been in negotiations and talking to the VA, for instance, that at least once a quarter, we want to open up those two rooms to have veterans come in and get their records checked. We want to open this up to veterans and service. We want to, the Tun was known, and pretty much all the taverns back in the 18th century were known as those meeting locations of where people exchanged ideas. So we want to why not reinstitute that? And, when there's local elections or even county elections, city elections, and have the people running for office, why not have a public hall? Why not do a town hall and do it at the Tun? So people can meet and actually see those individuals that are going to represent them. So this is going to be much, much more than just a bar and a restaurant.
Oh, I love that, man. And so the second floor is going to be open to like the VA to do like VA disability claims, claims processing.
I have already talked to the VA and they love the idea because it's going to be, it's a great location. That large room, you can get 150, 160 people in there. That smaller room is under 100. So, you could easily set up tables in there to help veterans get their claims processed. That's
excellent, man. Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
The other showcase is we want to remind people that the Tun has so much history of debate. It was extremely close to the Continental Congress there at Independence Hall. So members would come here and continue those discussions that they just had all day. So you can imagine, the delegates from the 13 colonies being at Independence Hall. Well, it's time for dinner, and they would come down to the Tun and they would continue those discussions. There's Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson. They all graced their presence inside the Tun. And we want to recreate that once we are up and operational and have those reenactors there during the week. And, so a family could be sitting in there and boom, all of a sudden, Thomas Jefferson shows up. And
so you actually sit there and have a drink with Thomas Jefferson or somebody.
Yes.
Okay. That's cool. I like that. So when we connected, I immediately thought I gotta make my way out there at some point in time. Me being a retired Marine as well, it's a part of, or maybe even any service. Cause as you mentioned, George Washington actually had dinner there and all that. So
yeah,
I want to make my way out there. When do you project that this is going to be completed?
Well, that's going to be up to all the listeners. And that's what I really want to focus on, a couple of programs that everyone can help us. We have in earnest, November 10th of 2023, we kicked this foundation off. That is, we stood up our website, we formed our board of directors, we passed our bylaws, and we started in earnest fundraising. So since November of 2023, we have purchased the land. In April of 2024, we dropped $4.3 million for the land. We have our architectural designs have been approved. So, and those in that business, have an understanding. You can understand the bureaucracy that it takes to get the paperwork through. That's been approved. We had, because it's in Old Town and because it's a recreation of an old Mariners Tavern, we had to go through the Philadelphia Historical Society. We have their blessing. They approved our plans. And we have been issued our building permit. And the building permit we've had it now for only about 4 or 5 months. So we now can build. But to answer your question, when, that's going to depend on when we can finish raising the money to obtain our construction loan. That's the long pole in the tent. And that's up to, and if you don't mind, I'll dive right into the first program.
Yeah.
The easiest way, yes, anyone watching or listening to this can go to our website, tun.org, and at the top it will say shop our store, or you can click on the contribute tab. The shop our store has, it has polo shirts, so you can get your Marine polo, your Freemason polo, your U.S. Navy polo, your St. John, St. Patrick, St. George polos. You can get T-shirts. You can get all of this. But let me warn you before you go there, we are in fundraising mode. So a polo is $250. Well, that's because,
as it is with any fundraising, right? You need to raise the funds in order to get the thing built. So I understand that.
Yep. Yes, we do. So we are in the fundraising mode. And but the easiest way, and I hate to say cheapest, but the least expensive way is if you scroll back up there, Vic, and you click 1775 Club.
Oh, yeah.
That is the easiest way, not just for a Marine, but for any American, anyone who believes in democracy, anyone who believes in the Constitution. Because that's what we want. We want to create a place. It's not a Marine bar. We want to get away from that. It is a recreation of a Mariners Tavern from the 18th century that just happened to be the birthplace of the Marine Corps. Okay, that's the key difference. This club, for $17.75 a month for only 12 months, which equates to $213, is the easiest way for anyone to support what we're doing. The easiest way. You make that first payment, you get that T-shirt there. After your third payment, you get that certificate and certificate holder with your name on it. And once you make your final payment, you get your coin there. And that coin is not just any coin. That coin has a serial number, and that coin is yours. Just like when we had our rifles, our rifles, there are many like it, but this one's mine. Same way with this coin. Everyone gets a coin when you make your 12th payment, or if you make your full payment, you'll be sent the coin, the certificate, and the T-shirt at the same time. What this will entitle you is your name will go on the computer. You can actually see all the 1775 club members now. We have a scrolling list there. You can, once we're operational, you'll be able to go in to to the tavern, and between 17 and 1800 or 5 and 6 p.m., you'll be able to drink 75-cent ton ale, 365 days of the year. The other benefit is that at least quarterly, we are going to hold member appreciation nights. So you show up with your coin, and that's, obviously it's going to be different types of events that we're going to be hosting. But then when you also join the club, 1775 club members will get advance notice of any and all events that are going to be going on. So they will have the right of first refusal, as we like to say.
Wow.
And we're at 3,000, right at 3,510 individuals have enlisted into the club. But I can't stress, this is not just for Marines. This is for any, American who wants to see history recreated and rebuilt. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that is a lot of people on here. I'm waiting for it to scroll through to see my name on here, but it's still in the B's and C's. So that's a lot of people that joined up.
Well,
so
here's a fact. Let me share this one. If for every 5,000 members, okay, that raises approximately $1 million for the foundation.
Wow.
If 5%, only 5% of Americans who earned the title of Marine were to join this club, we could pay cash for the place. We could drop $22 million. $22 million. Hold on one second.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. So I'm still waiting for my name to show up on here. There's so many names on here, but this is great. Oh yeah, there you go. Showed up right there. Excellent.
So you got to see
joined. Yeah. So I joined the 1775 club after we first connected, and I got my T-shirt like a week after. So I should have probably worn it to the show, right? But I got the T-shirt, and I guess next month maybe it'll be my third month. I'll get the certificate, and then at the end of the year,
your name on it.
Yep. Excellent. So this is cool. And there was something else that that you had mentioned too, when we talked before about the Steins, the legacy cups that you have.
Oh yeah.
How's that work?
There are the legacy tankards. Okay.
Yep.
These are 32-ounce bottomless tankards. Okay. They are made by the only female coppersmith in the entire United States. Okay. So Sarah makes these by hand. It takes her 4.5 hours to make a Stein.
Wow.
And she utilizes 18th century equipment. So if you go back to the store and click on the Marine Corps, click on the Marine Corps.
Here.
Yep. Click in there, and you can see that one on the left-hand side right there. The 32
right here, this guy.
legacy tankard. Now, probably some of your people are listening. Why is it called legacy tankard? Well, Vic, you could go purchase one. Yes, it is $2,500, but you get your choice of emblem logo that goes on top. Then you get 2 lines of text that Sarah will sit there by hand and hammer in across it. 22 characters, not counting spaces, 2 lines. The reason it's called legacy is, Vic, you can leave that to one of your kids. And I forgot to mention, once you have this tankard, you purchase this, you never purchase another beer inside Tun Tavern ever.
Really? So I'm just going to buy a house in Philly then.
You purchase this and you drink for free. Then you can leave that tankard to one of your kids, and your kid drinks for free. And then your kids' kids could be passed down to them, and they drink for free. So whoever owns this tankard never buys another drink inside Tun Tavern.
That's amazing. Now, I have to believe that there is a limited amount of tankards that are going to be sold, right? Because you can't fill up all the walls with the tankards.
1,500.
Okay.
That is
Have
it.
you sold many already?
We have sold over 100, like 125 of them have been purchased. There's a number of ways to obtain one. One is to buy it flat out for $2,500. Second way is to become a plank owner. Or third way is you are a major contributor. You know, you donate $15, $20, $25,000. We're going to allow you, we're going to give you the right of refusal to say you want one or you don't want one.
Okay.
And these tankards will be maintained there in the bar behind a locked glass case, well lit. So everyone, and these are also serialized. So
Yeah,
you will have
here.
a serialized tankard. Yep, that's it. That's what it's going to look like.
Wow. So you guys are going all out with this. This is pretty amazing. Now the original Tun Tavern, did it have anything like this?
Oh no,
Like tankards that you left there, or maybe not legacy, but did they have anything like this?
they had behind the lock. They had lock cages where it was known that people brought in their own beer, and you could put it behind the lock cage. So you obviously, Ken Hopper showed up in 1774 with his key to get into the cage, and the barkeeps would pour my beer from my ton. So that's,
you can't do that now. You can't do that with this ton.
no. That's the second way. The third way, and probably the second least expensive way to support this effort, is to, and you're going to start seeing a big push from us, not this week, next week, is to purchase a brick. Because, outside, as you're looking at the ton on the left-hand side where that outdoor sitting area was, we're going to have what's called Tun Alley. So that right there, that walkway, that brick area is only going to contain about 3,100 and some odd bricks. That is it. So you can purchase a brick for $500. That brick can be etched in any one of the 7 logos, because it's the 6 affiliations. And then the 7th one is a Friend of the Tun logo. And then you can have up to 4 lines of text engraved on that brick. And those bricks are going to line that Tun Alley right there, as this depiction shows. And those bricks will be there forever and ever. Amen.
Does that brick entitle you to anything, like any drinks or anything, or is it just a brick?
Entitles you to the pride of supporting the build of, and taking you out, Vic, and show you where your brick is. Of saying, here's your brick.
Oh, just like the is it the Marine Corps Museum?
Yes,
they have the brick out there like that too. Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool.
So
Very cool.
When these 3,100, and we're approaching 1,000 bricks being sold right now, when they're sold, they're gone, they're gone. So now is the time for people to really jump in and support the rebuild. The first one, I can't talk about the 1775 Club enough, how simple that is. $17.75 a month for 12 months. And then the brick program is the second way.
So is there a link on the site for the brick program, or how do you do that?
You go under the same thing. You go under any shop our store, and then you can click on any of the associations, any of those organizations right there, and you scroll down, and there's the brick.
Here we go.
Yep.
Excellent. All right.
And
okay, so you got T-shirts, you got polos, everything in here, huh? So.
Oh yes.
This is cool. I like that.
The miniature ton, and those are only going for $100, and that includes shipping. So,
Oh man, I like that.
and I hate, and I know Pat's going to talk about this, but
Mhm.
I hate to bust people's bubble, but especially for Marines, if you Google if you Google Tun Tavern, then you click on images, what anyone is going to see is a pencil etching of a tavern. Okay. Yeah, right there. So you see that pencil etching right there.
Yep.
That pencil etching was actually done 100 years after it was torn down.
Really? I didn't know that.
No one knows what the original Tun Tavern looks like. No one. Here's why. We sat down with some archaeologists in the 17th and 18th century when they built these. If you'll notice this one on the right hand side, you see the chimney there for the fireplaces.
Yep.
Well, in the 1683, when the place was built, these chimneys were on the inside of buildings.
Okay.
And that was
So this
to
is
capture as much heat as possible.
okay. So
That's
it may not be accurate then, but
correct. And that's why
okay.
it took so long for us to get the permission from the Philadelphia Historical Society. I mean, there are descriptions of what the original Tun Tavern looked like in newspapers today, but that is as close as we could get.
Got it. So the one that's being built does have the chimney inside then, it looks like.
Yeah, we went back.
Okay, I see here.
Yep.
Yeah,
and it will be a working chimney. It's probably going to be gas powered because it's going to be difficult to keep that much wood.
Right.
In stock.
And clean out the chimney every so often.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we got it right here.
If it's like here at my house, you can see there whole chimneys on the inside, which is more period.
No, that's excellent. This is excellent. So I'm looking forward to, I contributed to the 1775 club. So monthly was $17.75. And, that gets me the t-shirt, the certificate, the serialized coin, and that's all cool. I love that. I didn't know about the brick. I'm glad you brought that up because that's something that I would love to be a part of.
While the 1775 club is unlimited, okay, the bricks and the steins, I mean, once those 3,100 and some odd number of bricks are sold, they're sold, and there's not going to be any more. Not anymore.
Yeah, I believe that.
And that's a very easy way for someone to support the build of the Tun.
Excellent. So the call to action now is we're in fundraising stage, and actually right here is where. Yeah, let me pull this up here real quick so I can show exactly where it's going to be. So Tun Tavern is going to be right here where the star is. And across the street, we have, it looks like Boots, or that's just a walking path?
Yeah, that's the walking path to the original location. Yep.
Gotcha. All right. Then you have the USS New Jersey across the way, the aquarium. Oh, so you guys are right in the middle of all of it then.
Oh, yeah. You can see there's Christ Church, the Museum of the American Revolution, Betsy Ross, Constitution Center's right around the corner, Vietnam veterans, Korean War vets. We're right in the middle of everything in Old Town Philly.
Yeah. I love that. So the call to action now is anybody who wants to be a part of this, a part of the fundraising effort to get this thing built, to get the Tun built. We have options here. There's different things like the brick. There's the tankard. Probably the easiest way is the 1775 club, which I did.
The easiest way.
Yeah, and then you get these little gifts that essentially you're contributing, but you're getting a t-shirt, certificate, a coin, serialized coin. So that's cool.
And you get instant. You don't have to have it all paid off. For instance, Brick, when you made your first monthly payment, you get all rights and privileges of the 1775 Club immediately. That's the thing. So our next big and we're going to have a couple of events this summer to coincide with the 250th of America. We're going to have some events that you will get advance notice of, be able to purchase tickets ahead of the general public. That's the cool thing about it. Yes. And it's another way, even after we get the place open, we're not going to close down the 1775 Club. We're going to keep that running forever and ever, because it's just another money stream. So at the end of the day, at the end of the year, when we divide up our net profits, we'll have additional net profits in order to donate to those charities.
And real quick, just a question here in the comments. Is it $17.75 per month? Yes.
Yes.
Is that right, Ken?
Yes. For 12 months. That's all it is.
Yeah. For 12 months. And then you get, I should have probably wore the shirt here, but you get the shirt, you get the certificate with your name on it, and then you get a coin, serialized coin. So that's pretty cool. Question though, that as I was scrolling through the comments here, I can't exactly find where it was, but there was a question about giving back to the community. Is the Tun going to be contributing back to the community in any way?
Oh, in a big way. In a big way. As you heard me talk about the net proceeds. So obviously, after we pay the wait staff, the bartenders, business expenses, the net profits are going to be divided up amongst the 6 organizations. So let me keep it. I'll keep it real simple. Let's say that Marines donate 40% of the funds to build the place, and the Freemasons donate 40%, and then the other 4 organizations each donate 5%. So once we get down to the net profits, 40% of those profits are going to go to Marine charities. So then we will divide that up amongst the Semper Fi Fund, Toys for Tots campaigns, those large, Marine Corps organizations that donated to the building. They will get a share of that profit forever and ever, ever, for eternity.
Excellent.
As long as the place is built. Then the Freemasons will get their 40%, and they have already stated that they are going to be donating the majority of that to their hospitals. So they will be getting those funds. The other 4 organizations have indicated that they are going to be donating those funds to their education programs, their scholarships. So the St. George, St. Patrick, St. Andrews have significant high school scholarship programs that they're going to be donating those dollars to.
Okay, so the money is going out there to help out the community. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Now we are going to keep some, because we want to be good stewards of the local community. Because there's local parades, there's local high schools that we want to support, and we want to support local causes. So we are going to keep some back to support that. Like I said, Excellent. We want to be able to put on those programs that really emphasize the importance of democracy and bring those programs alive to the local community. And when people, for big events, here's a little tidbit. We initiated it this past November. We now actually own a bus tour. It's called the Tun Legacy Bus Tour, Secrets of the Tun. And we have 12 different sites in and around Philadelphia that date back to the founding of Philadelphia that this bus tour will take you to. For instance, the original Tun Tavern, it actually was down on the water. And one of the reasons it was so popular is that it had one of the longest piers
Okay.
in the harbor there. So, and that's why that's one reason why, and Pat will go into this more when you interview him, but where the English, the Scots and the Irish, those ships docked at that pier because it was the closest one. And then when the immigrants came down that pier, that's where their friends and families met them. So to get up to what is now Philadelphia, so the those that have been to Philadelphia, there's the Navy Yard that's right there on the water. Okay. If you look up there, it's probably 50, 60 feet rise. There used to be sets of stairs to get from down on the water up to Philadelphia. So there's still an original set of stairs that is there. There's the tomb of the unknown soldier from the Revolution War is just down the street. So that's on the bus tour. So there's 10 other items that tie directly back to Tun Tavern. We'll go see Samuel Nicholas's grave where he was buried.
Wow. So just a ton of history, military history right there in this one location.
Yeah, and not just
that's incredible
military history. I'm talking United States history.
Yeah.
I'm talking founding fathers history that's there. Here's one, and I don't know how many of your listeners know this, but the first commandant and the second commandant were both Freemasons. That was one. Yeah, they were Freemasons. So the Masons and the Marine Corps were together from the very beginning. From the very beginning, they were there.
Wow. And real quick, Ken, we got another question here. Is this a 501c3?
Yes, we are. 100% 501c3. As a matter of fact, if you go to our Guide Star, Candid, you can look it up, and they're the ones that rate nonprofits. You will see that the Tun Legacy Foundation has a gold seal of transparency. I'm in the process right now of uploading last year's tax records. It's methodical. So give me 2 or 3 weeks. And our goal is to get that platinum level seal of transparency and to put it in reference so everybody can understand this is only about 5% of nonprofits have a gold seal. To get a platinum level seal, you're talking, we would be up there with the ranks of Toys for Tots, Marine Corps Heritage Foundation, Simplify Fund. It's those type of organizations that have a platinum level seal of transparency. So that's what we want to show. So you can go now to Candid, look up the Tun Legacy Foundation and see our last 3 years worth of tax records.
Okay. So that is the answer to your question, Tony Slaughter, 4285. It is a 501c3. And just going through the board of directors here, I saw General Peter Pace is on there. I got a chance to meet him when I was at TBS many years ago. So excellent man.
General Peter Pace, and General Pace actually reached out to us and said, I want to be on the board of directors if you'll have me. And we couldn't convene a board meeting quick enough to get him on board. What's also, if you look at our advisory committee, they are they are a solid group of advisors. And these are individuals that have stated they wanted to be a part of this. They couldn't be as engaged as the board of directors, but you can see there, General Livingston, Medal of Honor recipient, Sergeant Major Manis. She was the first female sergeant major at 8th and I. Larry Nicholson, 3 MEF CG. Gene Overstreet, former sergeant major.
Gene Overstreet. That's right.
Jocko Tulin there. So you can see some of those individuals that have lent their name to our cause.
Excellent. Yeah, a lot of well-known names on here. That's excellent. So so I guess the call of action now, if anybody wants to contribute to this, would be go on thetun.org, and probably the easiest way to do it is the same way I did it, was join the 1775 Club. And then you get some awesome swag along with that: t-shirt, certificate, serialized coin, and then what is it, 75-cent drinks between
75-cent drinks between 5 and 6 once we're up and running.
5 and 6. So I just got to make sure that I make it out there at some point in time. I know I will. Once it gets built, I'm making my way out there.
Once we put a shovel in the ground, you figure 14 months till the doors open. And trust me, we're going to make a big to-do of when it's no joke groundbreaking. We are also going to put a camera on the site so people will be able to monitor and see the building actually go up. What we want to do, I mean, God willing and the creek don't rise, we really want to put a hole in the ground this year. And with the help of your listeners, that can be done. But we've raised about a little over 40% of what we need for a construction loan. So we still need some dollars to do that, because we envision having an event that once we get the steel girders up for the buildings, we want to have an event that will invite 75 club members out to sign the girders. So you can put your John Hancock, so to speak, on that. And you can say you were there. That's the big thing.
That's excellent. And here's an idea too, is once you break ground and you have some kind of ceremony for that, bring a few of these military influencers out there, like folks like me. I mean, I don't want to say me, but folks like me, bring us out there so we can do a live stream on the spot, talk to people, interview folks, things like that. That's something we could talk about in the back end. Don't worry about that.
We'll talk about that.
It'd be great for exposure as well. So
yes, because we know we need to. This year is the big year, our opportunity. And I know there's been a lot of questions from people I see on social media. Well, what have you done with the funds that you have already collected? Well, you know, they're paying for the land, paying for the loan for the land, paying for the architectural designs. And these companies are giving us like cut rates, but you still have to pay those off. Then there is the matter of, you see the store stuff that we have. There's the swag. It's purchasing that equipment. It's the mailings of that equipment. They're the designers. So we still have an outflow of cash. I mean, we have well over $1 million in the bank, but we still need those funds to get that construction loan. That's the big thing. We want to get that building started this year.
Absolutely. So no, this is all great, and I'm on board with it. I'm excited for it. Big reason why I joined the 1775 Club. So anybody out there who wants to or is interested in jumping on this, you get some cool gear, some cool swag, and you get to contribute towards something that is a piece of history that's being recreated here.
And can't stress the bricks enough. I mean, once those 3,100 bricks are gone, that's it. They're gone. Yeah. And what a great piece of legacy to leave. And it's not just as a Marine, but think of as an American. You know, you could pay homage to your family members there. You could pay homage to a unit you served with in Vietnam, Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Iraq, Afghanistan. It's a great way to pay homage to those individuals.
Absolutely. Well, man, Ken, I mean, this is exciting. It's amazing. And I know that you guys are going to make that mark, hit that milestone, and get this thing built ASAP. I'm really happy you came on to educate me on it and talk to me a little bit about everything that's going on. Looking forward to some of these emails that are coming down range about events.
I want to leave, speaking of that, let me leave my email address with everyone.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's my first initial, Kilo, and then my last name, Hopper, at thetun.org. If they have more specific questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to give me a shout at that one.
Absolutely. Yeah, I put it there in the comments. khopper@thetun.org for questions.
Yep.
Awesome, Ken. I truly appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else that maybe we haven't covered that you want to leave with the audience here?
No, because like I said, Pat's going to be coming on with you to do more of the history of the Tun Tavern. Rob Brink will be coming on talking to everyone about the tie-in with the Freemasons. And then Matt Swindle's going to be coming on. That's probably the going to be talking about fundraising and plank owners and Keystone contributors. I will touch on this, not to steal Matt's thunder. If you'd like to participate at a plank owner level, that is $10,000. Okay, but with plank owner level, there are a large number. There's some significant items that you receive. First of all, you don't have to pay it off in a year. We'll give you 2 years to pay off that. So 24 months to pay $10,000 off, but you will instantaneously get all the gratification of being a plank owner. That comes with an individualized shirt that names you as a plank owner. Second, when your restaurant is up and running, you present yourself, you make a reservation. All plank owners move to the top for reservations. You will then second get white tablecloth service. So if you're a Marine, for instance, you will sit in the Marine section inside Peg Mullins with Marine Corps memorabilia around you. If you're a Navy, if you're a sailor, you'll sit in the sailor section, or Freemason, and so forth and so forth. Your first bottle of wine when you show up as a plank owner is on the foundation. So your first bottle of wine is free. And then all plank owners will be right there, just like with the 1775 Club members, and get advance notice of any event that is going to be going on inside the place, and to get advance notice and advance ticket purchase capability.
Excellent. I love that. And I love the fact that you guys are giving back to the community, that you guys are going to be connected with charities, and that you're opening up a room on the third second floor, third floor for the VA disability claims.
Yeah. And to help the local community. Yeah. We really want to be, like I've said from the beginning, it's not just a bar and a restaurant. We want to be a part of the community. We want to be a site that people want to come to and participate, and know that if they show up on Tuesday, holy cow, there's Thomas Jefferson. They show up on Fridays, holy cow, there's Benjamin Franklin.
That's awesome. I would love to see that. I would love that.
Yes.
Well, Ken, it was great having you on, man. And I really appreciate all the information. The site is thetun.org. If you want to help contribute towards breaking ground and getting the Tun back up and running or recreated, right there, right across from where it actually stood.
200 meters.
Tun.org.
200 meters. You can't get any closer than what we got right now.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
And we'd love to have everyone, just that if everyone gave their little bit by joining the 75 Club, that we could get this sucker built.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. I'll keep spreading the word. I appreciate it, Ken. Thank you for coming on. And,
it's been my pleasure.
Letting everybody know about it. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having us. We look forward to
anytime.
doing this again. Take care, buddy.
Absolutely.
Hoorah. Semper Fi, Marine.
Right. Semper Fi. That was retired Colonel Ken Chopper Hopper. He is the marketing director for the Tun Legacy Foundation, Tun Tavern Legacy Foundation. Happy to have him on. And shoot, you learn something new every day, right? And I didn't know about the bricks. That was awesome. As you know, folks like 66T Love, great project. I completely agree. It is a great project. For so many years, we've always talked, as a Marine, right? We've always talked about Tun Tavern. We even had like the facade. When you go to like the Marine Corps balls, you have like the facade, people taking pictures in front of that facade. Now, potentially we could take pictures in front of the actual, the recreated, but the actual Tun Tavern that is going to be actually standing there here in a few years. So that is going to be awesome. And would love to stop by and just have some dinner there, or a drink or something like that. And that legacy tankard was awesome too, because you could potentially hand it down to your kid and your kid's kid, things like that. It just follows them along. I want to give a quick shout out to Hellfish Haven. I truly appreciate you, man. Gifted 10 memberships to the Green Logbook. Awesome stuff, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. It says, thank you for giving back and rising above. No, thank you, sir. Thank you. So here's if you have questions for Ken, I shared his email on the comments there, khopper@thetun.org for questions. Awesome dude. And, he's going to make it happen. We already answered a couple of these questions here. Tony Slaughter mentioned, is it a 501(c)(3)? The Tun is a 501(c)(3). And in fact, the 1775 Club does in fact cost you $17.75 per month. It's what I'm paying. I mean, if it's any more than that, I don't know about it, but it's $17.75 as far as I know. 660 Love, again, good afternoon, TGLB family. Let me see here. And they are giving back to the community, as we mentioned. Jason Mac McCullough, hey, Semper Fi, welcome back. Arrows 9889, fascinating. Indeed, it is. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, there you go. Tun Tavern. It's going to be awesome. With that, let me see here. What else did I have for the channel? I got so many things. Oh, I recently released a video here. Let me actually pull it up on 5 huge things that I should have done before leaving the military. I don't know if you all saw this. It's got a very kind of crazy photo of me, on the thumbnail, grab my face like, oh no, I should have done this a little bit better. Hindsight is always 2020, right? So we always realize maybe we should have done something a little bit better while in service. A lot of it has to do with well, I won't spoil the video for you, but utilizing your tuition assistance effectively. And I know I already got some comments on there. Some of these combat MOSs don't have a chance to utilize their tuition assistance, which is fine. If you can, you can. That's why they have GI Bills. That's why they have the VRD, Veterans Readiness and Employment after the fact. I'm just saying, for me, I wasn't exactly a combat MOS, so I had a chance to do some schooling. What surprised me was when I'd go to these Army schools and I'd be sitting there, as a chief warrant officer, sitting next to another chief warrant officer in the Army. And these folks had their doctorates already. They had their master's degrees already. I'm like, where do you find the time, dude? I cannot. I was military justice, so it was a little hard for me to get into class when I wanted to, because I was constantly working on cases and things like that. So definitely check out the video. We talked about tuition assistance, talking about what else did I cover on there? I got it all on here somewhere. Tuition assistance, life insurance is a big one. That's a big reason why I teamed up with American Fidelity Life Insurance. Something that you should probably look at getting when you are in service, so that way when you do your VA disability, it doesn't affect your life insurance rates after you get out. Because once you submit that VA disability claim, that monthly amount that you potentially go to pay is going to skyrocket. So make sure that you get that done ASAP. What else did I cover on here? Taking care of your health. Taking care of your health, big time. I put off a lot of my surgeries until my 18th year in the Marine Corps, simply because I just didn't want to be out of the fight. So something you should definitely look at. And of course, networking more. You can't have enough networking. Go to those job fairs, go press the flesh, as they say, and shake hands, get outside of that bubble, step out of the office, step out of those 4 walls and go outside and get to know some folks. So let me see here. Who we got in the comments? L. Sid Barrett, greetings from Captain Windsor, U.S. Airborne. Greetings. Welcome. So if y'all didn't already know, we had Mr. Ken Chopper Hopper, on the live stream. He was talking about the Tun.org. Awesome organization. Looking forward to it. It's not just for Marines. There's a lot of American history behind those walls of the original Tun Tavern, and they're looking to bring that back to life. And I can't wait. When they do, you can find me out there. And if anybody out there is close to Philly and they break ground, if you want to go have a beer and hang out, I'm game. Just let me know when. I'll show up. Awesome stuff. Let me see here. What else we got here? Some more comments. I really as I'm reading some of these comments, I'm like, I really got to get a moderator on some of these comments, man. Because some of you guys are wild, dude. I'm talking to Ken and I'm like, I'm trying to read these comments, trying to figure out how, all these buttons. I'm not doing it straight from YouTube. So I got to go on these little 3 dots and then try to block all these folks and delete these weird old comments. Let me see here. I'm working on a few other things, more videos coming up. With that, I think we're good with this live stream. Thank you all for joining the Green Logbook. Find me later on this week, potentially. I got a few other things going on that I want to share on the live stream. Specifically, I'm diving into, this is going to be good. I'm diving into, where is it? You're going to love this. I'm diving into the Congressional Budget Office options for reducing the deficit 2025 to 2032. If you haven't read this, you might want to give it a read, especially if you're a veteran, especially if you're receiving VA disability. You might want to check it out. All right. There's a couple of things that just came across my desk, and it's a lot of these things are a little bit eye-opening. So I'll share this in the comments here, but definitely, if you're anything like me and you like diving into laws and legislation stuff, and you're going to see some eye-opening crap in here. And hopefully it doesn't go through, but we will see. No, L. Sid Barrett. I was not 25 ID. I don't know what that is. Is that Army? No, I was Marine Corps, man. I think that is an Army MOS. Yeah, but you're going to see a whole lot of stuff here. Specifically, let me give you a little glimpse into this real quick. I want you to read. Where is it? Damn it. Go back up. This one's fun, right? Option 25, reduce VA's disability benefits for veterans who are older than the full retirement age for Social Security. Option 26, narrow eligibility for VA's disability compensation by excluding veterans with low disability ratings. Oh, man, there's a whole lot of stuff on here. Raise the full retirement age for Social Security. And VA's individual employability payments to disabled veterans at the full retirement age for Social Security. A few eye-opening things again, so definitely something you should read. I dropped the link in the comments. I'm going to be diving through this as I usually do, dissecting this, making and building a video for you all to better understand it. I like things Barty style. I'm going to make it Barty style, and we can dive into it together, because I'm all about the education piece, and I don't want anybody to be blindsided by this stuff. So each one teach one, as they say. With that, that's all I got for you today. Watch that video that's coming out, and watch the one I just posted yesterday on the 5 things I wish I did better when I was leaving the military. With that, thank you all for joining the Green Logbook. I might jump on later. I don't know yet. Thank you for joining the Green Logbook out here.